What's going on, guys? Welcome once again. This is again here to another HFX training. Hope you guys have been having a great day. So we started off yesterday, not the best of days for us kicking off the week. Usually, we like to kick off the week on a good note. But then again, is the market sometimes you just have to deal with the ups and downs. We did finish 2-2 on that trading session, but then today it was a massive day for us. Train officially, we finished on the trading session, on the HFX trading session. Some persons did better, as you can see from the group, clearing 4 trades in a row, and that's really good, right? But then again, I want to go into something that so many of you have been asking me about, and I will be explaining it in this video. So as you guys can see on my chart right here, I just have one indicator, and that is the DMI stochastic, right? So I'm going to be going over how to use this indicator, or how I use it to really catch those sniper entries. You guys know I usually don't like to use indicators, right? It's not like there's something wrong with them, but some persons get so addicted to indicators that they don't try to understand price action, which really is the best way to go about the market, because when you understand price action, the way the market flows, then indicators are just going to be a bonus, and that's way better, right? But that's not to say that indicators are bad. There are people doing massive shit in the market, killing shit in the market, as it is said, just using indicators. All right. So first of all, let's jump right into it. My indicator right here, this is the DMI stochastic extreme. So if I should take it out, how do you add this? And let me take this out, come to indicators right here, and just type DMI, right? It's this one right here, DMI stochastic extreme. We click on it, it's added, right? So I use it as default. The only thing I change is the color, and that's it, right? So I go to the stochastic here, and I just change it to black and make it thicker, increase the thickness, or I just increase the opacity, as you guys can see right there. And that is all I do when I'm using the DMI stochastic extreme, all right? But then how do you use it to really tap into those sniper entries so that you don't have to roll over trades? We don't like rolling over our trades, or when we roll, at least we have a max roll of 2, right? So I will be showing some examples. So right here, of course, we take our trades at specific times. So right here at 4 a.m., all right, 4 a.m., and right here at 5 a.m., we did have a buy set up on Euro USD. And if you've been following the sessions, we just have been talking about catching price from key levels, all right? So if you watch right there was a rejection right before the hour, and then they stepped into that zone. We would have taken that trade, right? But if you're using the DMI as entry, we see that right here is still pushing up, right? It's still pushing up. It hasn't, there is no indication that it is going down at all, right? You see price here, we had a little bit of divergence, indicator going up, price coming down, taps into that zone, rejects, with indicator showing that upward push, price already rejecting. That was our clue to take that trade to the upside, and that would have cleared very neatly, no problems, all right? Then the second buy, same thing happened, right? You observe right here that there was no oversold, right? Because price was still yet to cross here. Usually when price goes above the 80, that's overbought. We start crossing down, we look for sales. When it goes below the 20, that's oversold, or below this my red line right here. All right, for those of us who are very new. If it goes below here, that's my oversold, and I'll be looking for buys. But right here, it's still in the middle, still coming from that downward or upward push, right? but it's not showing any momentum going down. It's pointing up while price was hitting a key level. All right, I hope that point is clear for you guys. Of course, if you have any question, you can always reach out and I'll get back to you. All right. And then right here, we had a different kind of setup. So that's to tell you that you could have different forms of setup. Once you understand price, it's pretty much easy to make use of this. So right here, you have oversold, right? Now, this is the proper oversold right here. If you watch, now we are having a possible sell setup on EU right here, but we're going to watch, if you watch right now, I think we have a present price action about to play out. If you watch, it's about to pull down. Now, if we are to use this for entry, we'll wait till we confirm a close below that 700 mark, all right? And then we catch the pullback. At that time, we should have this crossing down. But right now, we're not making any move until we have a close below that zone and this starts poking inward. But right now, we will be patient and just watching, all right? So going back to this buy right here, price was pretty much oversold, right? Starts to cross back up. Now, I want you to pay attention to this B sign. All right, this is usually the trigger point when making use of this, when price gives you this oversold form of setup, all right? So EU is still not closing down. So there is a possibility you could tap, come here and tap before falling. So there are two scenarios now. If we are looking at this for a possible setup, it's either we wait till it closes below here. If it doesn't, then we are going to wait to catch it at that 750 area. But once it closes below that zone, we wait for that pullback, watching our DMI, and then catch it to the downside. All right, so that's two possible scenarios. So back here, we got the rejection above, same level, previous pivot point, previous key area, close above, price comes back into it, boom. Now, with my experience, if you are very experienced, some of you are way more experienced, you would catch this move because you already have that rejection, that trigger, so you'll be getting in right here, right? But then to use the DMI for entry, you wait after this candle closes until this starts to cross back up and then this B appears. Now note that while this is crossing up, the B won't come out immediately, all right? But once you have this crossed up and you have this close above the zone, even if this is pulling back, right? Sometimes the B sign is going to come up very quick, right? It will show up. Once that B mark is there, that's your confirmation that despite the pullback, that pullback is just going to come tap into an area, a key area before pulling up. So as long as it has appeared, you have this crossed up and you have confirmation of rejection right here, close above that zone, you can pretty much take that trade to the upside. All right, and then you can see EU, like I showed you guys two possible scenarios. Didn't close below that zone, so what? No trade setup. We don't have a cross here yet, right? So we're watching now, it could be possibly be at that zone. All right, so let's look at an example I posted earlier in the group. Let's look at an example, right? I'm going to show you guys how the DMI can be used, all right? So pay attention. All right, so here it is, new share. Let's share an example I posted in the group. All right, so this is what you want to see, right? This is what you want to see. You see that DMI, this was a 700 zone, as you can see, 693. So the line was a little bit away from the key point, but as you can see, you can pretty much tell that was a key area. So rejected, close below. That was our confirmation. More like what we wanted to see with the EU trade I just talked about right now. So close below the zone, and you see what the DMI is doing. So at this point, we're waiting for this to close, right? Pay attention. This is different from the EU one. The EU one didn't tap the line like this. So you want to get to the point where it's just poking and making an attempt to cross over the line. And then you have your close below the area for a sell and a rejection on the area you are looking at. So once this closes, what we want to now see is a pullback into that key price right there, or the closest key price, and then we take our sell, right? So let's see what happened after. Let's see what happened after. So as you guys can see right there, you see that pullback I talked about? Now we had this candle close below that 700 price area. We waited for that to pull back. Right now, take a look at your DMI, right? So once this pulls back into this area, while it is pulling back, your S sign will be up. That is your clue telling you, yeah, the momentum is just coming back into this area. We've had the confirmation of close below the zone. Price is pulling back. We have our cross. Go ahead and take the sell on that trade. All right. So we see pretty much crossed in, and that closed pretty well. No rollover again needed. You see how we're able to match price action with that move. Let's look at another example, right? I did drop another example. Yeah, here it is. This was on UCAD earlier on today, right? UCAD. So as you guys can see, again, similar to the example I just showed now, poking, attempting, almost crossing over to the upside. The movement has not happened yet. So right now, you are free to get in. Once you have this, you are free to get in on this trade, right? Get in on the trade, that's your clue. Rejected and closed above our zone. Price is crossing up, still in our area. And with this type of move, you can be sure that this is pulling way up here, all right? Then what happened thereafter? Because sometimes if you hesitate, right? Look at now the B comes up, and when it comes up, it's already way gone away from the area where we want to catch it. Remember the clue, we want to buy low, sell high. So at the point where we were entering this trade, price was just about to cross, was still in our key zone, close above the zone. We're taking the move, because by the time the B comes up, the trade will be pretty much gone, all right? And it will be difficult to catch it again. All right, so guys, I hope you got value from that. How to use the DMI. Again, coming back to EU, you guys can see what I talked about earlier. We just missed it, right? So guys, I can't make this up. I told, like I explained earlier, if it didn't close below the zone, which this guy failed to close, we should look at that 750 zone and look at how beautiful it came and tapped there. Right now, we'll be waiting for this candle to close because it looks very good now. Exactly, we see it playing out. So your S has come up now. All right, so that is to tell you that this is a very good setup now. If by any means, any chance, it pulls up above the area, we can actually take that trade and it will clear. So what we want to see now, actually, we can't wait to see how this plays out, right? It pulls up into that area or even above that, I think that's 700. We can't take that trade, all right? We can take that trade. I think I should. Let's see. So let's just wait. Let's just wait. So right now we're taking the trade as it stands. If we are on the session, guys, just showing you guys how to use the DMI. So you see the pullback has already happened. So anywhere above that 700, we are going in. We're going in right now, 705, 710, 715. Everyone is getting in on this trade for 3 minutes, and let's watch it. So let's wait. The bill is pulling even better. Right, so note, first point of entry, right, that zone. to catch it, right? If you missed it, second entry, right, on this pullback. But remember what I said, we want to see it close below that zone, right? If I had seen this earlier on, would have taken it right here, right? Like I broke it down when we first got started. But again, still looking very good. Let's wait. There you go. There you go. So the next candle should absolutely take this down after a slight pull up. You see now it's fully well extended. Fully well extended. All right. So everyone on this trade should be clearing this. All right. So guys, you can see this live before you guys. I broke this down. The first entry here, right? And then the second entry, 705, 711, all of it. See, now the trade is gone, right? Now it's pretty much late to enter. All right. So guys, that is just how we use the DMI. If you have any question, feel free to reach out to me and I'll get back to you. All right. Actually, this should pull at least down to this 650 zone, or even all the way down here before it starts to pull up. All right. But I hope with this breakdown, you guys now get how you can use the DMI to catch sniper entries, either from the top here or the pullback, and you also understand how to use it when price is oversold on the top and when it is yet to cross over. All right. So until next time, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget to click and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, this is Ikena saying, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye, guys.